Good night, everyone. We will be demonstrating the Smart Plant Care Control System. Just to give you an overview of our components used. Here we have the Arduino R3 microcontroller. You will also notice 4 dispensary containers, one for water, one for nitrogen solution, for phosphorus solution, and another for potassium solution. To the back here we have our relay. This activates pumps for each solution based on logic that is run via our microcontroller, based on code that we wrote, and also based on sensor information. And now you can see our sensors. Here we have the NPK sensor, and here we have our capacitive moisture sensor, both embedded in the soil. To the left here, we have our Modbus. This allows us to communicate with our NPK sensor. Now moving on to our code. We run our code for our controller on the Arduino IDE. It compiles and it uploads. Now we run our code for our graphical user interface, or GUI, which was written in Python. We specify which port we are communicating with the Arduino, and we use COM3. Now here is the start page, and we will select a plant to monitor by clicking the button. So we have this drop-down list that allows us to select plants that are already loaded in our database. If we select plant 1, you can see here on the right that we have printed on the screen the ideal target values based on our database values, or ideal values that are stored in our database. But we'll select to go to our plant registration and we'll register a new plant. So let's name it Samuel's plant, since Samuel is helping us with the demo today. And let's set the required moisture level to be 80% and nitrogen level to be 255, same for phosphorus, same for potassium. We'll confirm registration and we begin monitoring this plant, and we see that we can monitor the live values for nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. The moisture value is still being processed. We also can compare with the ideal target values here, and you can see here that the phosphorus value and the potassium value, these are both printed in red, and also for moisture, both printed in red. The phosphorus value was at a value of 90, so it's very far from its target value of 255. And just then a pump was activated, and I believe it would have been the potassium pump, so this container. But since the container is empty, nothing was actually dispensed into the soil. So we'll wait again just to listen for the pump. And I believe once again that this time the nitrogen pump was activated. So now let's actually see how the sensors would react to a change. So we have the water container actually filled with some water, and what we are going to do is we are going to register a plant to monitor, and we are going to set values that will allow us to activate our moisture pump based on the logic that we wrote for our controller. So we register plant 6, we set the required moisture level to be very high, and we set the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium target values to be very low. So this would ensure that based on our logic for our controller, water would be dispensed into the soil. So we confirm registration and we begin monitoring. So as we wait for the logic to run through, we expect for this pump to turn on. What is going to happen is that this soil moisture level, once the water is dispensed, it will take some time for the water to diffuse and for the sensor to pick up the reading. But the reading should be increased from 33% closer to its target value of 80%. And I would like to point out that we may have some overshoot on the reading from the sensor. That is, we may exceed our target value, as we need to allow some time for the moisture that has been dispensed to then diffuse. And we saw there that the pump was activated, and we wait for the sensor, the moisture sensor reading, to change from 33%. We still have some processing, still have some diffusion. We see that the value changed to 36%, and we had some dispensary by the pump once again. Some more water was dispensed, and we will wait once again to see how the value changes. So we see now that the soil moisture percentage is 80%. It's green, it matches the ideal moisture percentage. So when it changed, shortly thereafter, the pump should have turned on if it were below its target value. But because it now matches the target value, the pump is not activated. And we should go on to have some more diffusion of the fluid through the soil, which would bring that soil moisture percentage down. But as things stand at 80%, the pump will not be activated. So that was a brief demonstration of the smart plant care control system. Hope you enjoyed it.